I must be on coke. It's not that it's fucking 42 degrees outside. I live in Michigan. It has nothing to do with that. It's not just booger snots and pizzo. It's me doing coke. I don't even like coke. Like I never liked uppers. Coke was always fun. Like Coke was cool for the first like hour or so, or at least, you know, I don't know how much time actually passes, but you know, that first line, and then, you know, the second one's pretty good, but like pretty quickly Coke becomes chasing that dragon. Like that was why I always liked pills, because you could just take one pill if you had the good oxys, and then that would be it. I mean, you could snort it, and even then you just have to snort the pill. You didn't have to keep fucking bumping and bumping and bumping it. Like, shit gets gross. A night of cocaine always ended with me in the shower fucking blowing my nose, trying to get as much of that shit out as I could. I hated cocaine. I don't even like it, but at the same time, like, say, like, used in a sort of medicinal or like a spiritual kind of way, I could totally see how it could be beneficial. Like if you take that first line and then you have a conversation with someone, you know, like your spouse or something like that. Like a lot of times my wife and I would have these really intense, deep conversations, and I would think we would get somewhere with some shit. And I'd be like, cool, we got it. Then the coke would wear off. Not so much, but I'm so bothered by the Trump. Like, I mean, clearly you guys are watching YouTube, and what YouTube has become, as far as the constant commercials, and every single time it's a fucking, it's a political, at least one of the commercials is a political commercial, because, you know, I have to see two commercials. Sometimes I can't even skip, like, a lot of times you get your 5 seconds, you got to watch the thing, and then you can skip, but lately they've been doing, you can't skip either commercial. Like, what the fuck? And I swear the commercials I keep getting about Doug and Kamala, and how, you know, Kamala's husband is Jewish, Kamala's vice president is Jewish, like, and Kamala may have flip-flopped on issues in the past, but she's always stood strong with Israel, and it's amazing to me how many times I can block the same, or I guess similar ads, I don't know. But not only do I report it, like I always report the ad, I report it as hate speech. And then when it gives me the option to say something, I say, like, the Jews are the worst people in the world. And then it'll say, did this help? And I'll say no. And then it'll ask why, and I'll say, because you keep showing me this dumb Jew propaganda. Like, I say all this shit to YouTube every day. And every day YouTube shows me another fucking pro-Kamala, pro-Israel ad. It's just disgusting. And the fact that everybody's so distracted by what these clown actors disagree on, as opposed to focusing on what the fuck they agree on, it just shows you how pathetic we are. How well we've been, you know, we've been made the dumb goyim they think we are. We are who they thought we were. We are who they thought we were. Yeah, that's about right. Like they think that we're stupid. They present us with the stupidest things. I like Donald Trump. So you know what you see with the commercials? So you'll see obviously the Israel ad, but you'll see commercials where it's like Kamala wants to give tax breaks to the people, and and Kamala wants to tax the rich, and Kamala is here for the people, and they'll like lay out different policies. The pro-Trump commercials, the only pro-Trump commercial I keep seeing is this really poorly edited commercial where it shows Kamala saying, yes, all transgender athletes should have access. And then it cuts. And then it's like, Kamala wants transgenders to have sex changes in prison. And I just, over and over, Kamala wants transgenders to have sex changes in prison. And that they keep showing the same fucking basic commercial. And it just shows you the truth. Like, at least the Kamala side is trying to say, hey, oh, and then there's the other commercial where, like, there's two of them, where the Mexican, the South American, whatever, ran over the person with a car. Kamala got this illegal immigrant out of jail, and he got out and he ran over somebody with a car, and they were a military person. You see these dumbass commercials for the Trump side, and all the I'm a proud Trump supporter people. It's fucking stupid. Like, aren't you embarrassed that there aren't any commercials touting Trump's policies, touting what Trump is going to do to make America great again? Don't you see how stupid they hope you are? Kamala wants sex changes for transgenders in prison. It's the dumbest fucking shit. And again, it's edited because it's Kamala saying, I think all transgenders should have access. Access to what? We don't know what the hell she's talking about. Safety? Safe cells? Safe prison sentences where they're not forced to be in a situation with those they fear? Like, I don't know. It's really fucked up, man. And then just the fact that we have our prison system. Our prison system is so stupid. It's so goddamn stupid. If we had proper sort of, like, you fuck with a child in any way, you show up to the Sting house, you have the fucking the sexually charged conversation on whatever fucking Tinder app or whatever it is, and then you come to the TCAP Sting house, okay, well, we're going to give you a week or two to get your affairs in order, but that's it. You're dead. We kill you. Huh?
Give me the phone, go dump that real quick.
Dump you.
Hello. No idea what y'all were talking about. And I'm in the process of trying to organize my children's Switch games. Because, they're so organized. Kids. Kids. See, I don't know what y'all were talking about. I'm sorry. But I had to have them do some husbandly duties before he returned. There we go. They can actually see what they have. Holy macaroni. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. Miracle. That I share.
Boom shakalaka boom shakalaka boom. Boom shakalaka boom bop 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 bop.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome very much. You a cool girl. I do things for you and to you too. Okay. Shush. Shush. Oh man. I don't know. Do you guys get the same bullshit when you're watching YouTube? Just constant. I can't, like, it's crazy how they're doing it, because it doesn't make me want the election, the process. It doesn't make me enjoy anything. Nothing like that. Like, the whole thing makes me hate it that much more. The fact that literally every 5 minutes now, YouTube is showing me another commercial, and it's all the same bullshit. Like I say, like, I don't like focusing on what they differ on, but just look at how, to me it's like when I talk about UFC and stuff on here, or fight sports, boxing, whatever. I don't talk about it because I want to talk about the boxers. I want to talk about the system that is boxing, the Jew-controlled mafia system that runs and controls boxing or fight sports, right? So, like, with this whole thing, it's not necessarily about, like, I don't either actor doesn't matter. Leah Bia, howdy, lady. The actors don't matter. They're just fucking actors. They do what they're told. I mean, the fact that so many people think Trump doesn't do what he's told is so fucking stupid to me. But when you look at how the system treats you, how they see you, and what they present to you to get you to think the way they want you to, and you see the commercials where they're trying to appeal to intelligent people with Kamala, talking about tax breaks, and like the commercials you see bring up different policy changes and things she's done in the past and all that kind of stuff. Whereas pro-Trump commercials are just stupid. Kamala wants sex changes for prisoners. I can't tell you how many times I've seen that commercial. It's so stupid. And you can tell who these commercials are trying to appeal to. There's not intelligent people watching those commercials and thinking, oh my God, Kamala wants sex changes for people in prison. The way it's edited, you have to be a fucking idiot to fall for that. You have to be a Trump supporting kind of stupid fuck to see that I mean, why don't they show her saying it? Why would they cut off access and then cut it off? Why don't they show her saying access to sex change fucking therapy or whatever it is? Why do they cut? I think that, yes, all transgenders should have access. Cut. Come on. You know how stupid you have to be to fall for that shit? Do you understand how stupid they want you to be? They, the Jews, Israel. Don't get it twisted. Everybody else says they and them, and I'm very specific in who I'm talking about. And I totally, if I'm wrong, please come on the comments and tell me. I know there's going to be a bunch of dumbass, trolls and got to say stupid things. Fine. All you do is prove my point. But anybody who supports Israel, believes in the election process. Like, the funniest thing to me is when it comes to Trump supporters, how, they talk about, the 2021 election was rigged, and it was rigged, and it was rigged, and it was rigged. And it's like, well, you guys remember that Trump lost the 2016 election by 2.7 million votes, right? And then the swamp that he was going to drain put him in anyway. You guys remember that, right? Oh, that was because Hillary cheated. Oh. And then, the Electoral College stepping in for the first time since George Bush Jr., which was the first time they had done it in, like, modern times. Well, that's nothing to think about. Whatever. We get it right most of the time, but sometimes we don't get it right, and the Electoral College has to step in. Every once in a while, the Electoral College has to prevent California from picking the election. If it weren't for the Electoral College, California would decide the president. But only those certain times. What's the distraction for? It's to keep us from talking about the Jews. Right now, it's to keep us from looking at Israel and the genocide they're committing. Not just the genocide they're committing on the one side, the war they're picking on the other side, because you know who's going to fight and die in that war, right? The dumb goyim. They don't believe that they should be the ones dying in their fight. That's what we're for. That's why we exist, is to fund them, to serve them, and to die for them. So all of you America first, if you're one of those stupid people who falls for patriotism, you should be furious that $18 billion has been given to Israel since October 7th. And that we're sending troops to go die over there. American kids, 18, 19-year-old kids to go die over there. We have the two largest aircraft carriers in our fleet are stationed over there now to protect Israel. How much money do you think those things cost every day to run? Yeah, no, we have to talk about the Jew thing. Let me make this clear. Like, anyone who was raised in that supremacy, in that cult, and leaves it and says, no, that whole belief structure is bullshit. It's ugly. It's gross. You know, the whole moil and the Brit Milah, the circumcision, putting the bloody baby dick in the mouth and all that stuff. It's disgusting. Look, this doofus repeats things he saw on TV. Trump equals no wars. Yeah. Like, look at the desperate shit that they have to say. Right? It was like somebody was looking at the record one day and was like, holy shit. Did you notice that when Trump was president, there weren't any, like, outright wars going on? Even though there are plenty of wars going on. Like, you're just stupid if you think that way. What Israel has been doing to the Palestinians for 75 years is a war. There are all sorts of horrible things happening in Africa all the time, and those just don't get talked about. Prior to 2019, the Goyim were protesting all over the world but America. There were literally protests, human rights style protests happening all over the world. And you know, and then the Trump people gave us COVID. Another one of those things that Trump supporters don't like to talk about. 4 years Trump had no wars. We were involved, dummy. We were involved. We ended wars. God, are you stupid? Like, again, this just the stupid shit you guys say. It's just it's dumb. It's so stupid. The reason why Israel is doing what it's doing is because of Trump. But like, this is where like these stupid people think that Trump somehow controls what other people do. Like, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. Okay, Forrest. You know what I love about the Trump people? The Trump people love to call Joe creepy Joe Biden, and they should. He's creepy Joe Biden. But they love to talk about how Joe Biden smelled that girl's hair that one time. That makes him a pedophile. Like, that was just more of that desperate stupidity. Trump not only hung out with Epstein, him, Stephanopoulos, and Epstein were known as like the Three Amigos in New York. The Three Amigos or the Three Musketeers, don't remember. In the New York nightlife scene during the 80s. They were best buddies. And then when Epstein died, it was the Trump people that covered that shit up. Like, it's just stupid. You have a case of TDS, Trump derangement syndrome. That's what that is. But then you are the smart guy in the room. Right. Again. So why don't Trump supporters come in here and just start bombarding me with all the good things Trump has done or Trump plans on doing? Why do they always come in here like clowns and just like I go, hey, Trump supporters are clowns. If you're a clown, raise your hand. And they go, me, me, me. Why don't they ever bring anything to the table? Has drank the Kool. I've drank the. I love how people say that. Like I had somebody say, think outside the box yesterday. I was trying to tell me that I should find God, and I should think outside. And like, dude, thinking outside the box is the person that doesn't fall for the shit. If you fall for Trump or Kamala, you're an idiot. And that's the difference between me and these goofball fucking idiots on here, right? They're falling for one side of the coin. I'm going, hey, you see it's just two sides of the same coin, right? No, 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 Trump's a good guy. Netanyahu does have the White House do his laundry, sir. Netanyahu's the motherfucker. Well, what's the alternative? To what? Which thing? Like the best thing we can do, this right now. You guys sharing the feed, trying to get as many people as you can that will come tell me what I'm wrong on. I'm not looking for the supporters. I think I'll pull supporters, but the best thing we can do is take advantage of the greatest weapon they ever gave us, which is the ability to communicate with each other. And when it comes to the election bullshit, the best thing we could do is not vote. If 95% of the people they expected to show didn't show, they had like a 1% turnout or something like that, that would be really significant. But you going and they go, okay, we're going to slap you in the face with the left hand or the right hand. Which one do you want? And you go, oh, man, well, are you right or left-handed? We're right-handed. Okay, I'll pick the left hand then, the lesser of two evils. Because I would imagine you can't slap as hard with your left hand. So go ahead. Nobody's thinking, hey, I don't want to be slapped. What? Oh, God, that looks ridiculous. How about see the truth and take the blinders off your eyes, bro? Look at what the man accomplished. Look at his record. See, again, just like I just said, before you typed that nonsense, I said, why don't Trump supporters come in here with his record and talk about all the good things he's done? And again, at the end of the day, you are supporting a president of the United States, an elitist. You are supporting Epstein's best buddy. Like, it's like, and you're so shockingly stupid that because you fall for it, you think I have to. You just can't wrap your head around the idea that somebody doesn't think either candidate is good. Hey, brother, we are just wanting to vote for the least worst option, and that's Trump. That's why they hate him so much. How is Trump the least worst option? That doesn't even make sense. How is Trump any better than I mean, again, when you're so desperate to prove something Trump, that you're talking about foreign wars, you're exaggerating or manufacturing this well, because Trump was there weren't any wars in other countries. That doesn't benefit us. During Trump, we got COVID. They locked us down. The Trump presidency locked us down. So many people lost their businesses and their livelihoods because of the Trump presidency. Why don't Trumpsters ever remember that shit? Was our country doing a lot better when Trump was in office? Yes or no? No. No, we were locked down. You don't remember that shit, huh? You conveniently forget that. The one thing they did was give us the gas prices for like 2 months. For 2 months, the gas prices dropped way, way down. And then they went back up. What dumb Trump supporters don't remember is, like, my wife used to talk about it all the time in 2016, 17. She couldn't believe how much the food prices had skyrocketed since Trump got in office. And you know, the other thing that dumb trumpets don't seem to understand is
What he
weed.
started is why it's still going up.
So the presidency, the first presidency is when they still have to be elected. So they can't necessarily do a lot of the horrible shit. It's not until the second four that they usually do the horrible shit. Well, with the Trump thing, all the policies that are in place now, if he would have won the election, it would have been his last four. He wouldn't have cared. But like so much of the stupidity in thinking we're going to add all these tariffs and taxes to goods coming in, to foreign goods, and the people aren't going to pay for it. Remember when he promised that Mexico was going to build the wall, pay for it, and like it? Remember that? Well, then it turned out that taxpayer dollars are going to pay for the wall. And then the goods coming in now have to, there's more, well, we're going to add tariffs and taxes to the goods coming in. Well, the suppliers, they're not going to take the cut. The people that suffer when the tariffs and shit are added are us. So we paid for it on the front end, and we're paying for it on the back end. And guess what? All those tariffs and shit, we don't get that money. They don't collect a bunch of tariffs and then hand it out to the people. You're fucking stupid if you think all this shit. Let's see. Buchanan said Israel had already occupied Congress and the Senate in the I'm not anti-Israel and I'm a Trump guy. I'm sorry to hear that. You should proudly be anti-Israel. People should be proud of their anti-Semitism. We always have to explain this to people so they understand, but Semitism is a thing, right? Anti-Semitism is a thing. When people say anti-Semitic, that's insulting, right? Because Semitic refers to all of the people in that region. The Palestinians, the Lebanese, the Syrians, the Iranians, the Iraqis, the Egyptians, the Moroccans. Like, even black people are considered Semitic. And yes, even the Israelis are considered Semitic, yes. So when they say anti-Semitic, that's fucking racism. Semitism, by definition, means you believe in showing Jews favor. Why would anybody believe in showing Jews favor? Why should they get favor over any of us? So anti-Semitism, as it was initially coined, still means the same thing today, is opposing that supremacist idea of Jews getting special treatment because they're Jews. All you fucking Trump supporters, like all of you guys are like, we should keep the money in the United States. We shouldn't be involved in foreign things, blah, 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 blah. Except for Israel? Why not Israel? We've given Israel $18 billion, 17.9, $18 billion since October 7th alone. We give Israel $3.8 billion every year. That $3.8 billion, once it's converted into their money, shekels, is more like $15 billion in their money. Our dollar is worth $4 there. So think, if we've given them $18 billion, multiply that by fucking 4. What's that? $72 billion? Or 72 billion shekels? And we're not even the only ones that give them money. They get money from everywhere else too. Why? Why do we give Israel anything? Why are we sending our American troops over to die in an Israeli conflict? How does that benefit the United States? Why are American taxpayers paying for all the normalization deals that were signed that none of you know about? Because you're fucking stupid. No? You only believe what they want you to believe. And then you want to pretend like you're making a choice. Let's see. More Trump. Blah, blah, blah. Trump left it up to states. This guy. See, isn't it funny how everybody that talks shit doesn't actually say anything? They just keep trying to shoot the messenger, right? Something that never happened to Trump. Because if any of you believe in that goofy ass Trump shooting, I don't even know what to say, man. Where are all the fucking cell phone videos and live feeds from the Trump shooting? There would have had to have been hundreds, if not thousands. Trump said there were tens of thousands of people there. Where are all the live feeds? Where are the most ever in history? Where are all the live feeds showing that shit? Where are all the cell phone videos? Duh. People should be proud of their anti-Semitism, says it all. Yeah, you should be. You should be proud to be opposing supremacy in all of its forms. Like, do you know how stupid you are? Why do you think Jews are special? What part of, why? Other than you're probably a dumb Christian who thinks a completely different religion, a religion that actually looks down on you, is your God's chosen people. It's so fucking crazy to think how stupid you are. You think a different religion is your God's favorite people. What the fuck is wrong with you? Blah, blah, blah. Why ain't what I'm typing showing up? Why ain't? All you guys keep doing is proving my point. Hey, stupid. All the live feed is every word, duh. Hey, stupid. All the live feed is every we're duh. D-A.
Duh.
That's a Trump supporter.
Duh. When you spell out duh, it's D-U-H. Just
and it's everywhere, not everywhere. And punctuation will help in that kind of thing. Hey, stupid, comma. Like when you call me stupid and you can't even get your basic English correct, that just, I thank you. Thank you. All the other people watching this, you see it, right? This is your average Trump supporter. This is your average Christian. These are the people that are voting. Think about that. Think about how scary that is. That there's no limitations on voting. You don't have to pass any sort of test or anything. You could just be as dumb as a fucking rock and be like, "Oh, I like Trump because I saw them say on TV that there was no wars. There was no wars when Trump was in office." Yep, I do a live with my mama. Again, like this is something you can take with you in everything, not just this kind of conversation, but in any conversation. If you're having sort of a debate or whatever with someone, and they start arguing their own narrative, you're talking about points, but they start, "Oh, so what you're saying is," or they just start saying stupid shit. It's because they can't say anything else. Jesus is Lord and Savior. Oh, yeah. Sure. This motherfucker can't read. Yep, that's what it is. I can't read. It's not what you're saying, it's that I can't read. Drill, baby, drill. Again, I mean, just look at all these stupid people that are raising their hand to be like, "I like slogans." They said a slogan, I like it. I like when slogans rhyme, but I like slogans. I don't have original thoughts. I just repeat things. Isn't that fucking wild? Go change your tampon. Like, see what I mean? Like, are you in Are you in middle school? Aren't you supposed to be at school right now? Close the border. Yeah. Yep. Right. Because the you mean the southern border though. You don't mean the northern border where the white people are. It's just insane. It's insane that the system has tricked everyone into falling for the system. All right? Like when it was Obama, all these fucking goofy white guys, they were like the system's rigged and it's all a big lie and they's coming and they gonna FEMA camps and they gonna round us up and blah blah. It's all bad. Look at Obama and blah blah. And then they got and the system was like, oh shit, okay, here, let's give them Trump. Watch how they respond. And they were like, here's Trump, and they were like, oh yay, I got me a hat on now. Look it's like my Confederate flag, but it's not. Like it's just amazing how like you would think I would, I'm the one that's wrong and crazy and blah blah blah, all the shit they say. Why don't they make me look bad? Why don't they make me look stupid because they keep bringing up these points that I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? I didn't think about that. Oh yeah, what about? Oh yeah, they're right. That happened. Like, it just shows you how incredibly stupid they have us. These are all probably people that ran out and got their vaccine. Swing it back around to what you were first saying. The insults throw you off track, and that you're right, Chauncey. You are absolutely right. That's what a lot of these nameless, faceless trolls are for. But I'm not really off track because you have to pay attention to this, right? You have to pay attention to the things I'm talking about that make these guys come out of the woodwork. And then you have to point out how stupid they are. Because there are going to be people that are watching this that are going to think, oh, too scared or whatever it may be. And I don't want people thinking that way. I don't have any problem addressing these trolls because they literally bring nothing to the table. And if anything, they make a lot of my points for me, right? When I'm telling you that the type of person it takes to be distracted by this bullshit, the type of person that's going to support Israel, that's going to vote for Trump and all that other shit, like, these are really stupid people. A lot of people can get away with telling themselves, oh, well, he's just sort of saying that. But when these people come on here and provide the example of it, that makes the feed stronger. So there's a reason why I address them. I know what you're saying, but there is a reason for it. Let's see. You look like you look just like what you are doing, walking in circles and going nowhere. How do you prefer your dudes to look, Mitch? What do you like your dudes with blonde hair and blue eyes, and you like them clean shaven and shit? How do you prefer your guys? Probably younger. You will not have anyone listen objectively while insulting them unless they are in the military. Well, I'm not, again, I'm not insulting anyone. I'm just pointing out what they're doing. The thing is, that brings up another point. Like, this is one of those defenses that has been put on us. The biggest beneficiaries of the PC movement are the Jews. Because people think they can't talk about them. And they've created this society where people think, if I don't like what you're saying, then you shouldn't be allowed to say it. And that's just crazy. Like you can't insult me. You can't you can't embarrass me. You can't I can't be nothing these people say bothers me. And you can only be insulted, you can only be what's the word I'm looking for? Why can't I think of the word? When people say, oh, I'm so, by what you're saying, I'm so,
Insulted?
not insulted, the other one.
Offended?
Offended. I can't believe I can remember that. You can only be offended if you allow yourself to be. Nobody can offend you for being too good looking. Nobody can come up to you and be like, you're too smart. Just like they can't come up to you and be like, you're 10 feet tall and you have octopus arms growing out of your head and you have a tail that looks like a penguin. If somebody came up to you and said that shit, you'd just be like, what? Get out of here. But if you're fat and somebody comes up to you and says, hey, I want you to live the happiest, healthiest life you can, and I really want to help you lose weight because you clearly need to lose some weight and I want to help you. You're going to go, oh, I'm so offended by that. Because you know they're right. Come on, you can spell it out. That good boy. The guy that couldn't get his English right a minute ago is now trying to correct me. Okay, dude, gotcha. You have a dirty ceiling. Oh, okay. I don't think so, but okay. Again, I appreciate this, right? Because you're seeing what happens. You see how these bots come in, these Israeli bots. When someone like me starts telling the truth about Israel, you see what happens. You guys know that no Israelis died on October 7th, right? No, there are no real Israeli hostages. You know it's all bullshit, right? And again, these idiot Trump supporters, I thought you didn't want money and soldiers and all that going to foreign stuff. Why are you also okay with Israel? Do you ever ask yourself why you think Jews deserve so much favor? Why you think you're not allowed to talk about them? You ever ask yourself that shit? Do you ever wonder where that all came from? You don't have a problem talking about Muslims, do you? You don't have a problem talking about Christians or any other goofy belief structure, right? So why do you have such a problem talking about Jews? Don't you ever think that maybe that has to do with your programming? Oh, wow. You're crazy. Bye-bye. Yep. There you go. The truth is not in you, and that's a fact. 100%. Yep. So instead of keep running your nonsense, why don't you point out something that I'm saying that isn't true? This is the challenge to all the bots, to all the trolls, to whatever. Even if you're not, you're just somebody that's here. If I'm wrong, tell me what I'm wrong about. Don't just tell me I am wrong. Tell me why I'm wrong, how I'm wrong. I'm a big boy. I can take it. Can you? Oh, there's the easy. Everything. I'm wrong about everything. Gotcha. You know the thing I know about truth? Truth is sexy. Truth is attractive. Not sexy, you want to fuck it. But sexy that it draws you in. And so when you have someone like me that's basically shitting all over everything you believe, and all you keep doing is crying, you're not making any real points, you're just crying. But you keep watching. It proves the point. You recognize the truth. That's what you're watching. Whatever dumb, oh no, I just like to randomly find people and then poorly talk shit to them. Like, who seriously does that? Do any of you do that? No. The truth pisses people off. It really does. It's amazing how, like, for me, I'm confident. I believe I'm saying the truth and it makes me confident. So I welcome people to, again, tell me what I'm wrong about. I welcome any sort of challenge. The Trump supporter doesn't do that. The Trump supporter doesn't want you to challenge them. They just want to scream nonsense. Trump, MAGA, blah, blah, blah. They just want to do that nonsense. And it's like, no, okay, cool. Hey, tell me why you support this guy so much. And they go, Trump, no wars, Trump. Like, It's just dumb. And this is who the Goyim are supposed to be. If we weren't these dumb Christian, followers, Israel wouldn't be allowed to be committing genocide right now. Because whatever it is, now it's the weed. So if what I'm smoking is so fucking, it has me, why can't you make better points? How come if I'm so fucked up and all this other shit, how come I'm making you look so bad? Shouldn't you have a tremendous advantage over me? But the argument everyone is rattling is explain how Harris is better than Trump. See, Chauncey, this is the thing about Trump supporters, right? It's amazing. Not only have I never said that Harris is better than Trump, even though I guess I do think Harris is better than Trump because Trump's just a fucking idiot. This is the typical Trump response is if you talk about negative things with Trump, they immediately go, well, Biden did. Well, Harris. Well, Biden. They never. It's the same thing that Israel does, right? We've been so programmed by Israel. You never hear the Israelis denying shit. They don't deny that they're committing human rights violations left and right. They don't deny that they're committing a genocide. They don't deny that just all of it. They just tell us we're not allowed to talk about it. You dumb goyim shouldn't be saying these things. And that's what the Trump supporter does. It's the same shit. They don't actually make reasonable arguments. They just start. You assume that if somebody doesn't support Trump, then they support Kamala. You have to create a narrative that your brain can wrap itself around. Because again, you support one side of this. So how could somebody be smarter than you and not support both sides? You don't support one side. I don't support both sides. I think it's all stupid and it's all there to keep us fucking stupid and in control. But you want to think that the guy that lost the election and was put in place and in the position anyway, that he's not a part of the whole big circle? You're fucking stupid. I don't know what to tell you. Do you think Biden and Harris are truthful? Do I think Biden, Harris, or do I think any politician is truthful? Do you? Do you think politicians are truthful? Don't we all know, like, without a doubt, that all politicians are corrupt? Isn't that something we all just sort of inherently know and we've heard our families joking about forever and all? Don't we all know that? So why would you think any of it's true? All I know is that for someone like me that hates both of this, hates all of it, thinks it's all stupid, when I watched the debates between Trump and Biden and then Trump and Harris, the Biden-Harris characters are so much better than the Trump character. The Trump character is just dumb. He can't answer a single question. The things he said, like, it's embarrassing. If I was a Trump supporter, I'd be embarrassed by him. And you see that. Like I said, I'm proud of everything I say, believe, think. I'm proud of myself. You ask me questions about what I think, I'm going to be proud to answer you. These Trump supporters aren't proud. It's almost like they're faking it. They have to scream as loud as they can slogans and wear hats and do all, because they don't have anything else. You can't have an intelligent debate with a Trump supporter because they don't have anything they can bring. What are you going to bring to the table with the Trump argument? And more importantly, how do you debunk the things that go against him? I've said it now several times. Trump was Epstein's best buddy, and Trump presidency gave us COVID. And Trump didn't win the election. And yet, those 3 points, for some strange reason, don't get addressed by any of these idiot trolls. I read everyone's comments and I address the things that are said. And yet the proud Trump supporter sure does stay away from those three things, don't they? I support him because my life was better when he was in office. Yeah, I'm sure it was so much better when he was in office. How? What are you even talking about? Like, these kind of statements aren't quantified by anything. You just say things and it's like, what are you talking about? Like, what was so much better? You guys know that we were paying the same prices we were paying for gas during Trump, previous to Trump. Like, every once in a while they raise it up to $5 a gallon, so we all get scared and freak out. And then when they bring it back down to $3.50 or $3, we're like, whew, at least it's not $5 anymore, and we're happy with it being $3. When I was a kid and I started driving, gas was 89 cents a gallon. And gas cost $100 per barrel. That was the thing that was all over the news. That's what it'd been for $100 a barrel. Well, gas costs a lot less now, so why are we paying more? See, the thing about, like, stupid people is, do you guys really think that Trump, Biden, Obama, Bush, Clinton, whoever it is, do you really think, like, they're sitting at their desk and they've got a bunch of numbers and they're like, okay, let me see how I can balance this budget. And they're typing on their little calculator with and they read the tape up and they lean over here and they type something else. Or they got a stack full of foreign policy stuff and they're going through, how do I figure out this foreign policy stuff? Oh, yeah, by the way, I've got a golf game today. Oh, yeah, by the way, I'm going here. Oh, yeah, by the way, I'm campaigning this. Oh, yeah. Do you really think that the president is doing something? The president is an actor. And if you're smart enough to have said any previous president was an actor, that's great. But it just points out, like, even more stupid you are to think that you fall for Trump. It's just amazing. And I don't know if you noticed this, but not a single person is addressing the fact that I don't fall for either side. That's my argument. It's all bullshit. And yet none of you seem to be addressing that. Weird, huh? Life was better under Trump. No. We don't support Trump because we like his personality. We support Trump because they genuinely had good policies on foreign affairs and solid economy. No! That's not true. First of all, a lot of Trump's success came from the previous administration. You have to always apply that. The Obama administration left the Trump administration with a pretty good setup. The prices all going up and all that shit. Well, that's the price that the Biden administration is paying for the Trump administration. The whole thing where Trump brought all these jobs to the United States. No, he didn't. He just didn't. And again, Trump definitely didn't do it. Trump wasn't going and meeting with anyone and being like, hey, I'm going to give you this. And you, come on, bring your company back over here. You guys are stupid if you believe all that shit. Do you think any human doesn't lie? Yes, I'm sure all of us lie, but are we talking about in personal life or in a professional position? We agree that all politicians are very corrupt, but that is the thing. Trump is not a falling. Yeah, he's not a politician. He was just the president. But he's not a politician. He's a really shitty businessman. He has just so many fucking failures. There are lots of buildings and companies and shit that have his name, but they rent that. They don't actually, like, again, Trump isn't going to all these different companies and sitting down and figuring out the budget and working out the payroll and trying to figure out the, how do we get discounts and blah. That shit's not happening, you idiots. This dude supports Kamala for sure. See, I mean, again, you literally hear me saying things, and yet stupidity just it. You have to have me believe this way. It's like this girl saying, I think you believe in God. I think you believe in God, and I'm going, no, I don't. I think it's really dumb. I don't like it at all. I think it's really stupid, and it's Jewish control. Blah blah blah. And she just can't. She can't wrap her head around it. And you guys just can't wrap your heads around it. Yep. Support, not even close, dude. Gas was at 180. Gas was cheaper than 180. But it was cheaper. It was going up. You don't think, like, again, you think Trump has to do with the gas prices. You think Biden has to do with the gas prices. I mean, I don't know how else to do this. If you look up Jews in Biden administration, Jews in Trump administration, Jews in Obama administration, you'll see that everyone that controls everything that has to do with the president, from what he wears to where he goes to his speeches to what he eats, all that, it's always Jews. There's a reason why it's all Jews in these non-elected positions. And then give us the dumb goyim so we can be like, hey, he's one of us. He is rambling outside of his neck while smoking that trash-ass weed. Again, this is what you have to tell yourself, huh? Oh, ow! Oh, Billy, who can barely spell, thinks my weed is trash. Oh, man, ow.
How do you know?
Right.
How can you tell through a rolled blunt or through a pipe?
Well, because I coughed. And good weed doesn't make you cough or anything.
Weed makes you cough, especially when you're in your 40s and you've been smoking a while.
It's the stupid desperation that you guys, I have to read it and point it out to you guys. Because this Billy dumbass could be saying anything else. He could be like, well, actually, dude, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. Instead, he's like, this guy's saying too much. I'm going to try to insult his weed. Yeah, that'll work. What a dumbass. Who let this homeless guy use a phone? Clearly homeless. Clearly. Dude, just say you're a liberal. I'm a liberal. So, as a liberal, does that mean I'm all for liberties? I want the people to have more liberties? Yeah, I think I'm okay with having more liberties. I don't subscribe to any of the stupid labels that I'm given. Apparently you do, and you don't see anything wrong with that. At the same time, it's funny how you keep coming back to my page to prove me right over and over again. Like it's an interesting thing you're doing. You are lying. So instead of typing out that I am lying, why don't you say, you are lying this blah, blah, blah. Point out what I'm lying about, other than everything. I hope people are seeing this. Yep, Trump derangement syndrome. I mean, again, who comes up with these things? I know the reason everybody talks about it's not the government you can see, it's the deep state, is because of stupid ass Trump.
So this guy put up the most evil organization known to mankind is. And it's amazing. There's been a lot of people saying the state of Israel.
Good.
A lot of people saying Trump. Most people are saying religion, though.
Exactly. He has never been a politician. He's a businessman. Dude, he's a billionaire. Yup. He'd probably hang out with you all day, wouldn't he? He's a terrible businessman. Yeah, he really is. If you go look at his record, you'll see it, but you don't. See again, notice how you don't actually have anything to say. Let's see. Sorry, guy, that wasn't the point, but you've kind of made mine. You have an idea, but you also have too much BS from point A to point B to be able to articulate a point that actually answers anything. What question are you talking about? It was under 180 under Trump. Yeah, again, they gave you guys gas prices. They said we have to do something to give these goyams like to let people fucking have something with Trump.
That was the 4 years before he was there that accommodated for that.
Part of that, yeah, right. But
I mean, it's not. It wasn't his. A president, a sitting president, cannot be in that chair and say, "Okay, I want to drop gas prices," and they drop the next day.
right, that's
It
the
doesn't
point.
work like that.
That what I was just gonna say. Like, do you guys think that Trump is sitting at his desk and he's like, all right, gas prices are this. So if I just flip this switch, turn this knob, and then make a couple phone calls, that'll make gas prices go down? Are you stupid?
Doesn't work that way. They put the policies into place.
Trump
The government
def
works
picks
slow,
out
and
his
it takes
own
years for it to trickle down to us average Joes.
I can tell because the BS you're again, this Billy Morgan dude just keeps saying the same stupid nonsense. Like how I'm directly addressing the thing that he's saying right now as being just more of that nonsense. He refuses to actually address anything and just keeps saying these blanket statements. I mean, you see it over and over again. Smoking the good old swag. Yep. Again, how does anybody know what the fuck our weed is?
Right.
What is with these desperate idiots? You're so desperate. I'm hurting you so bad with what I'm saying that you're like, I desperately got to try to hurt this guy back. I can't outsmart him, so I'm going to try to say something that'll hurt his feelings. I know if somebody said I was smoking bad weed, I'd be upset. And then, you think that's going to work? This is the best you can do? Keep coming back. Yes, you have. You've been here before, you fucking liar. The presidents do not control the gas prices, for goodness sake. Great. Thanks, Pam. Good to see you, Pam. I mean, these people are just stupid. This is what I'm talking about. This is the scary part. I've always said Trump, Biden, Harris, these aren't the scary things. They're just the actors put in place. The scariest part is the stupidity that falls for it. These people that think that like Trump is their buddy or something like that.
What is the Heritage Foundation?
One of their stupid bullshits.
Is it one of Trump's things?
No, the Heritage Foundation's old, isn't it? I don't know. They're all stupid. I don't pay attention to that shit. Yeah. Mom's fighting his battles. Yep. She's fighting my battles because she said something I haven't already said a bunch of times. You are lost in all that emotion. Not emotional, dude. Sorry. Instead of having an actual answer. Okay, so what are you talking about? This is the second time you've gone on one of these diatribes about how I'm doing something that I don't really understand what you're even saying. Cannot come up with a viable alternative to either political party. Right. I'm not going to come up with a viable alternative in a system that's broken. Like, you're sitting here trying to say, well, if you're hungry enough, you got to pick, you can either eat this rock or eat this fucking, this stone. And I'm going, yeah, those are the same things, and neither one of them are going to help with my hunger. And you're going, no, dude, you got to come up with something else. You got to pick. It's like, what are you talking about, dude? You can't, we have to fix the system. The idea of a two-party bullshit system where we're given the pick, we're given the people and told to pick one. It's like Obamacare, right? And now all you stupid Trump supporters love going with Obamacare. Obamacare was Romney care. That's where it started. It was a Republican fucking policy. It was Romney care. And they had Hillary care. They had it all planned out. You guys are just dumb. You just fall for what you want to fall for. Of course, he knows he's talking BS. He's rage baiting. I'm rage baiting? Can't do that with truth. Don't fall for it. Keep scrolling. Don't give him attention. What the fuck is rage bait? Are you saying race baiting? Are you calling Jews a race? Judaism is not a race, you moron. It's a choice. Is Christian a race? Is Muslim a race? No. No. Well, boss, what's the whole live feed about? Like, do you think that's just like, again, this is the question. So the question I'm avoiding answering is what the live feed is about. I have to tell you what this is about. Aren't you watching it? I can only watch stupid for so long, and now I'm getting a headache from listening to your nonsense. Oh no, Billy Morgan, please don't leave and take away your, incredible insight. I know everybody's been really appreciating all those really important things you've been saying. If you just got here, then hang out and you'll figure it out real quick. This is basically the foundation, the backbone of everything I do is trying to wake people up to the Jewish conspiracy, to the idea that the Jews control everything, and whatever it is, whether it's Trump, whether it's the elections, the political stuff, whether it's the shape of the earth, whether it's the pedophiles in Hollywood, in the church, and all that stuff, whatever conspiracy you want to deal with, or whatever conspiracy you're distracted by, the only way, Tartaria, the only way we can ever get the answers that we want, we can ever get the truth that we seek, is if we unify and overthrow the Jews that control the narrative. Until that happens, we're sitting here, arguing about the little bits that they give us. Notice how I brought up the Trump shooting and how there's no videos, no cell phone video. Where are all the hundreds and hundreds of cell phone videos and live feeds from the Trump shooting? Brought that up and nobody has anything to say. You guys don't think it's weird that shooting has just sort of disappeared? The Trump people aren't just furious and demanding an investigation or more of an investigation, and the whole thing is just all hush hush and weird. Yet the guy that was in the bushes with the gun is supposedly the talk of the town. I mean, it's all the same shit, man. It's all the same shit. Yep, Billy Morgan, that's what I expect from you. Thank you, dude. Everywhere a YouTube search. Don't know what that means. Until we overthrow the Jews that control our narrative and control what we think, how we think. It's not even... Neil deGrasse Tyson said it once. He said it on the Joe Rogan show, and when I heard it, it pissed me off. I was like, what an arrogant thing to say. But it's just like all of you stupid guys, right? I was mad because what he was saying was true. It isn't about what we think. It's about how we think. And if you can control how people think, what they think doesn't matter. If you have people believing that they live on a ball flying through space, well, then they're willing to believe in dinosaurs being destroyed by meteors and NASA space telescopes and aliens and all these other things that come from that, because you've changed how people think. If you have people believing that it's not the government that you can see, it's the deep state, then all the shit that happens and the government that we can see goes, oh, that's weird. We go, yeah, it must be that deep state again. They love getting us focusing on the invisible. They have everybody scared of invisible germs. You guys, invisible germs make you sick. You believe that there are invisible germs out there and they're going to make you sick. Even though every single one of you, well, maybe not every single one of you, but most of you have been with somebody that you were, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, and you slept next to them or kissed them or were with them while they were sick and you didn't get sick. Oh, well, that's because I have a strong immune system. And if I say, well, gee, what's your immune system? Tell me what your immune system is. You're going to say, it's organs and stuff. I don't know. But as long as you believe that you have an immune system and germs get you sick, the invisible germs, and now you're going to take vaccines and you're going to buy cold medicines and you're going to do all the things you're supposed to do because they've changed how you think. You believe in God and Jesus. So you believe as long as you turn a blind eye to the priest constantly violating children and the whole Jews being a completely different religion, yet they're your God's chosen people somehow. And as long as you turn a blind eye to that and you keep quiet and you follow the orders of your Jew bosses and you just do what you say without rocking the boat too much, you'll go to heaven when you die. Don't worry. You'll go to heaven. It'll be cool. Just follow the rules while you're alive. And when you die, woo, the party starts. The invisible time. Woo! You're Y-O-U-R doing that right now. Am I doing that right now? What? You got the jab, didn't you? Billy Morgan. I mean, literally, Billy, I've already said that about you guys. Now you're just recycling nonsense. And clearly, the guy that's talking how stupid it is probably didn't get it, you bonehead. Bro's acting like getting sick is a conspiracy theory. Everything's a conspiracy theory. Everything's a conspiracy theory. But yes. So this is one of my favorites. So what you and most of you on here believe is that one day Billy Morgan's just walking down the street, and all of a sudden, cold and flu manifests itself inside him. And now he becomes patient zero. And every time he coughs and sneezes, flu sauce flies out of his mouth, both in liquid form and gas form, although both invisible. The gas form is a cloud that if he's in a room with a ceiling fan or some circulating air, it can go 60 feet, said my elderly neighbor. Sneezes can go 60 feet. So if you're everybody in the restaurant can be infected by the invisible sneeze. Or if somebody is in a room without circulating air and they cough, now there's just a flu sauce cloud just floating in the air, just waiting for some other schmuck to come walking through it. Because remember, flus, COVIDs, viruses, shit like that, they're super intelligent, right? Because they live in our 98 point blah blah degree bodies. And then we cough it out, and cold and flu season is usually when it's pretty cold outside. So it goes from 98 something degrees, 97 for some of us, to this an environment that's all warm and wet and hot, blah blah blah, to the outside air, which could be 50 degrees, 40 degrees, whatever, and it just sits there just waiting. And when somebody goes walking through it and they breathe in, the invisible germs run up their nose, and if their immune system, which is like these white ninjas that sit at the border, if their immune system isn't really strong, then the germs will get them sick. These super smart germs. Now, these super smart germs, on the other hand, there's the liquid flu sauce, COVID sauce, where if somebody coughs on their hand or sneezes. Now, have to get this right. If you cough right here, it's safe. If you cough right here, you are a walking fucking time bomb. Do you understand? Here is safe. Here is not. Here is safe. Here is not. And if you got the COVID sauce, now it's on your hand, the flu sauce, and you go walking and say you touch a doorknob, or you just rub your hand against the wall, or you grab a pen, or you touch the table or something. Now, the liquid COVID sauce that's invisible sets up camp. And it just waits. Again, 98-degree environment to a 50, 40, 30, who knows. Sitting on that tabletop, on that pen, on that whatever, just waiting. So that when the next person comes walking by and they brush their hand against that wall, or they touch that doorknob, or whatever, the COVID, the flu sauce grabs a hold of their hand, and now it's on their hand. Now, it's really important here. If they go and wash their hands, the COVID sauce, the flu sauce goes down the drain. But if they walk and they touch other stuff, some of that COVID, it's like venom. It's like a symbiote. It just keeps creating more of itself and just leaving wherever they touch. And if they touch their face, they cough, they rub their ear, they do it knows, and it jumps on their face and runs up their nose. And again, if they don't have a strong immune system, they get sick. You realize you all believe that, right? As stupid as it sounds, that's what all of you believe. And you've all proven that it's not true. You've all taken drinks off of a cup that somebody was sick and drank from, or if you smoke, you've hit something that somebody that was sick hit. If you're not a virgin like Billy Martin, you've slept next to somebody that was sick. You've kissed them, slept in the same bed, in the same room, 8 hours of flu sauce, air, breath, cough, sneezing all night, just floating around in this room together. And you didn't get sick? Must have been your strong immune system, huh? Must have been that immune system. Oh, geez. Let's see what these great comments are. P.S. I'm not for all vaccinations, by the way. Oh, just some of them? Just some of the poison? Kamala, answer the question. Did you get the jab? Now I'm Kamala. Are you stupid, dude? Science is about testing hypothesis for yourself to learn. No, it's not.
Don't test on us.
Science is not about that. Science is about conformity. Science is just another religion. If you violate and you step outside the lines and start saying something else, you get suicided. There have been hundreds of doctors and scientists and whatnot over the last decade or so that have suicided themselves. Some of them even shooting themselves twice in the head because they were going against the narrative. Strange how they do that. Why does this guy sound vaccinated? VAKSINATED. Wow. They can, LOL. You can test this. You can test what? I wasn't for COVID vax, and I'm all about having choice whether to get it or not. Yeah, but how about we're all about preventing the system from continuing to poison people and give them polio? You know, there's something called Guillain-Barré syndrome, or GBS, which is basically polio. And it's something that only comes from vaccinations. You know, the biggest outbreaks of hepatitis B ever are all associated with vaccines. You're just not thinking about it. You're way too trusting of a system controlled by people who think you're just a goyim. You're no different than anyone. Most of you don't remember or haven't bothered to look into the 1976 swine flu vaccination program, where the government flat out lied about swine flu 46 million Americans got vaccinated, and a few years later, we started having SIDS, which then turned into autism. But don't worry about that. That's me. I'm just a crazy conspiracy theorist. I've just looked into it and read everything I can read about it and know way more than you who hasn't bothered to look into any of this shit. You're probably just talking. Like most Christians, they were forced to read the Bible when they were kids. When you're forced to read something, you don't retain it. When you're an adult and you read something because you want to, and you read it skeptically, it's a whole different experience. But I've read this shit recently. I recently read Revelations. And like, if you think Revelations is real, you seriously, you have a mental disorder. That is, and I'm not saying it like a joke, like using, alliteration or something. No, I'm serious. That is a mental disorder. Revelations is fucking stupid. The God you believe in is just an insecure, clownish child. It's ridiculous. Oh, Leah Bia, don't even bother. Don't answer those kind of nonsense questions. These guys, see, again, I've said this before. When people start arguing their own narrative, oh, you must have gotten a jab. You must have gotten. That's because they can't acknowledge that you're besting them in the argument. Either something you've said is gone against something they believe or something like that. And instead of being able to say, oh, well, actually, I think blah, 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 they just resort to this making up their own thing to be able to argue. If they can say this thing, they already have a pre-planned argument for that thing. So if I was that thing, then they can make their dumb argument. So they try to make me that, oh, you got the jab. It's just stupid. It's just that so stupid nonsense. Because people intellectual use their THERE hands to grab and touch things. Oh, instinctual, sorry. Because people instinctual use their THERE. People instinctual use their THERE hands to grab and touch things. It's basic virology. Please, you can test this. Sure you can. You can test it. I love that idea. Oh my God, this guy's dumb. I'm not even reading his dumb nonsense. If you guys want to, you can read Billy's dumb nonsense, but...
Did you know that evil is the essence of God?
As a matter of fact, it's weird because sure seems like all the shootings, the Israeli genocide and all that other shit, that has to do with God. Weird how evil that is. If you use a wrench to fix a car or a light, you use the tool to test this shit. Yeah, too bad it's not that. So I can go fix the light. I can go turn the screws and test it. When it comes to virology and all that other bullshit, I can't do that. I have to trust probably Jews in white coats far away. It's just like religion. You have to trust these people you'll never meet, you'll never know, that supposedly know way more than you do, and you can't question them. You can't, you can't disagree with them, and if you do, it's okay to ostracize you. It's the same shit. It's just a different fucking version of it. Literally test this. Like, this person just keeps saying the same shit. Oh, okay. Hey, let me get my virus tester. Let's do a virus testing kit. You want to get one? We'll get a cold and flu
shove it up my nose.
Virus tester kit. No, we could just get a tester kit. A tester kit. Yeah. Been alive 40 fucking years. Never saw anything that involved us getting Q-tips shoved up our fucking nose to be able to test for the deadliest, most contagious fucking disease ever. They were even calling it a disease. Calling it, look at them destroying the old world, sweetheart. Fucking crazy. Oh, your YOUR arguing your YOUR own narrative, BTW. Let's not be hypocritical. I'm arguing my own narrative. What? Are you like, you think this is working, right? You are like, you're typing these things out and going, that'll get him, that'll get him, I gotta outdo Billy Martin, or Morgan. Oh, funny, Billy's gonna leave now that I said I'm gonna done reading his dumb nonsense. Go figure. Tectonic plates. Yes. Oh, people like you actually exist. How dare you ask questions I can't answer for? Oh. I don't ask those questions, so why are you asking those questions? This is all the Jews completely like fucking with us. Turning us into these fucking these petty, superficial pieces of shit who sit here and argue about the little crumbs that they give us. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. The Bible's real. No, oh, the King James Bible's real. Do you know who King James is? I mean, I've heard of him. Like, it's fucking stupid. You guys just don't think about things. It's really weird. I don't know how many of you can actually say, like, how many of you can actually say you've changed your mind? How many of you believe the same shit you believed when you were a kid? And how many of you can say that you know, some of the fundamental shit like a religion or, you know, your views on racism or sexism or whatever. How many of you can say that those things have changed in any period of time? The funny thing is, most of you believe what you believed as a kid, and that's because your parents believed it, and so you just believe it too. Well, I'm a Republican. I remember my mom telling me about that shit. Well, Republicans think that everyone should keep all the money they make, and Democrats think that people should give it all away. Oh, well, shit, I'm a Republican then.
So stupid.
But that's the kind of stupidity that gets passed on to people. And at the end of the day, if you identify as a Republican or a Democrat, you're an idiot. It's all fucking stupid. Let's see. I'm actually really happy to ask you these questions. I love that, and I think it's extremely important. So thank you for not being a sheep and acting. Hey, you know what? That is exactly it. You nailed it on the head. That's all this is, man. Asking these questions. Like I say, I appreciate all the trolls that come through. They serve a purpose. Yeah. They could be dealt with, but they're not for a reason. I have just this year. I do every day. I don't know what you mean. I used to be a huge liberal. Now I don't trust that shit anymore. I mean, why would you identify as something someone told you? Especially as like a, you know, there's going to be some things that liberals agree with, conservatives agree with, that you do agree with. There's going to be things that Republicans agree with, that you agree with, Democrats agree with, that you agree with, that they agree with, the disagree. It's stupid. They give us these stupid labels and we take them because it's all about that us versus them team mentality. They're always trying to push that on us. They're all, you know, from the youngest age, you're supposed to believe that our classroom is better than that classroom. Our football team, our little league team is better than that little league team. Our, you know, our school, our high school pep rally is better than that pep rally, and we're gonna get the jug, and then we college. It's all, you know, and it keeps reinforcing that, you know, America team, we're team America, we're team Christian, we're team you know, and then at the same time, they then fracture it so we can't all unify by giving it, well, I am a liberal with conservative views. Well, I am a conservative with liberal views. Oh, well, we're not the same then, are we? It's like stupid. Oh, you should pray. Maybe it'll help you. It'll help you a little to have a positive mindset. What isn't positive about mine? See, here you go. Here's another Christian arguing their own narrative. They're not smart enough to actually answer or get involved in the conversation as it is. So they have to try to sway it into their own way. You know, oh, I didn't pray, have a positive mindset. Why? That's another just one of those stupid tricks. Nobody should have a constant positive mindset. That's not how things work. That's not balanced. It's like hate. You know, although the whole thing of hate is just a four-letter click and whistle, a word that we've all agreed in English, this clicks and whistles that we do, but we call it English. We've all agreed that hate, it covers this wide range of emotions. Just like love, you know, covers a huge, I love broccoli. Oh, I hate broccoli. Like, I love my wife. Oh, I hate Israel. Like we just throw these terms out there without even thinking about what they mean, and they don't, they're just dumb. But when people tell you you shouldn't hate, oh, don't hate, that's not good. Well, if I have the capacity to love indefinitely, I also have the capacity to hate indefinitely. It's balanced. And I'm proud of my hate. I absolutely hate pedophilia. I fucking hate these pedophiles. I hope they all die. I think our laws, I don't understand why our politicians haven't changed the laws to, like I said earlier, you show up to the Sting House, you have about a week to get your affairs in order because you're going to be executed. No fucking around. You want to fuck with kids, you die.
So the answer to this, I put that. Wow, her answer is against Israel are fighting against the pricks, and they will never succeed because God is protecting Israel for that day of the second coming of Christ. And then, oh, she said so much more to me. Israel is a land about which God says uniquely, prophetically, and repeatedly in the Bible, this is mine. Joel 1:6, Zeke 2:5-7, Genesis 35:10-15.
If you go look that shit up,
She posted it.
Yeah, but if you go look that shit up,
Also, God refers to Israel as he does to no other land on earth. He raises Israel to be a light to the Gentiles.
why would you guys think about that?
It is obvious that God is protecting Israel. Since 1948, Israel has fought a dozen wars with the Arab neighbors intent on destroying Israel and returning the land to the Palestinians. How many of those wars have the Palestinians and the Arab surrogates won? Exactly none. And they never will. Why? Because the Bible makes clear that the important events preceding the second coming of Jesus Christ will take place in Israel, and therefore God will not allow Israel to be destroyed until his work is completed, even if Christ himself must descend on the Mount of Olives personally to save her. The Arab and terrorist states plotting continuously against Israel are fighting against the pricks, and they will never succeed. What?
Thank you for stopping me to read that. I know these are just words, but I believe you are a scientist. The only thing you lack in order to be a scientist is the tools like a microscope and such to see stuff for yourself. You have no idea what I do. The thing about me is I don't go conspiracy theory for anything. I read what I'm supposed to read. When I look up shit, I look up what Wikipedia, what the official, nobody can edit it Wikipedia page says. the government, populated Wikipedia page. It's all just common sense to me. It all makes sense. I don't know what the fuck we finally agree on, but I don't know how anybody disagrees with anything I'm talking about. I don't understand what things do you actually disagree with? Do you even know? What, you think Trump, the actor that's provided, you think the system is always lying to us, but somehow, some way, Trump snuck through? I mean, I don't even know how to, dude, there's no, that's a level of stupid that you just have to sort of get over. That's a sickness. But all of it, I don't know how else to, it's not like you guys are making points that I then have to debunk. That's what I would love it. If you guys started making points and I could then look them up, and I could, if I didn't already know what to say, I could look it up, and that would be great. But it's just like with the Christians or with anybody in this. Those making the extraordinary claims are those that require the extraordinary proof. I'm not saying anything extraordinary by saying the shit doesn't exist. You're the one saying the crazy shit thinking it exists. Debating is essential. Your feed keeps cutting in and out. Are you that surprised, Pam? You've been here before. You know how this works. Why read it when you can see it, touch it, and feel it for yourself? Let yourself be the investigator of truth, not through words, but through your own experimental evidence. Only then you will know the truth. No, that's not true. I mean, me reading it is part of the experience. I'm reading history. I'm reading the account that I'm supposed to know. It's my experience that usually tries to deconstruct whatever they're talking about. But the reality is, not only is every single belief structure and everything that we're supposed to fall for all about death, doom, and destruction. Like for Christians, the best case scenario is that everyone dies. Everyone dies. Like that's some insanity right there. And to me, that it's not just this society that wants us to focus on these bullshit ideas, but it's all about the past. Everything they try to get us to, they distract us with, is the past. It's all about the past. It's a past we're sitting here arguing over a past that nobody was around for. That all of us are just taking the word from the winners. Winners write the history. And Nicole, hey, how you doing? Ain't seen you in a while. But you're trusting another then. Cause theist? Oy vey. Oh, you're the worst. Don't say that. We don't tolerate that kind of shit around here. No, I'd love for Jews to come on here. I wish Jews would had the balls, weren't such cowards. I wish they would come on here and be like, no, you dumb goyim, you're wrong about this and you're wrong about that. That would be great. Never fucking happens, but it'd be great. And so people are willing to go this road is amazing to me. Which road you talking about? Not sure. Not following you. Not picking up what you're putting down. Not smelling what you're stepping in. Look at. Oh, God. You guys, look how stupid this is. Well, how do we know we're right there?
And it's estimated that our solar system is rotating around the galaxy's center at 490,000 miles per hour.
How do we even have a tool that measures?
How? How could we possibly fucking know? I love Big H. You are a Jew. I have no idea what that even means. Like, why can't the opposition ever be intelligent?
They love big H.
I have no idea.
Hanukkah?
Oh, that's easy. We can see it in our telescope. You're goofy, man. I love how people have fallen for telescopes. You think telescopes allow you to see a gazillion miles away, right? Telescopes, all telescopes do is take your image from this, like you can see my face, right? Okay, so now you're like, oh shit, you got a lot more wrinkles and you got freckles and you got, scratches, and look at the hairs. You can count the hairs on my face. You can't count the hairs on my face from here, can you? But you can count them from here. That's all telescopes are. They have you tricked into thinking telescopes are like inverse microscopes, and they're not. Telescopes just make a smaller portion of the sky closer so you can see that portion. But it's the same thing as like if you take your telescope and you're like do, and then you turn it sideways and you look like how every single 90s comedy show that was based in New York had an episode where the telescope had them see someone naked across the way. They're not like counting the fucking dots on the chick's areolas or some shit. They're not counting her pubes with that telescope. They just see the naked chick in the window a little bit better than if they could see it without the telescope. Because you're not seeing a gazillion miles away. Wake up. It's a fucking lie. That's not what's happening. You're not it's not enhancing your view to make you see further. That's not what's happening. It's just clearing up. It's just focusing your perception on a smaller area. I'll do this. Go to the top of a tall building, right? And either at sunrise or sunset, whichever you prefer, take your telescope and look in the opposite direction of the sunrise or sunset. And tell me, do you see stars? No. It doesn't allow you to see past the light where the light is. No. It doesn't allow you to see past that point. Even at the tallest buildings, you're not going to see the dark star sky with your telescope that lets you see a giggity billion miles into space. Space. It's all fucking stupid, man. It's all stupid. Oh, let's see. Blah, 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 blah. This is called optics and physics. Do you even know how light works? Protons, electrons. Yep. I have no idea what the same bullshit you've been taught, the same acceptable nonsense that we all are told to believe in. I have no idea what that stuff is. All that same nonsense we have to be able to regurgitate so we can get our paychecks when we're kids. Our report cards, our paychecks that allow us to have our stuff. You don't get a good paycheck, you lose your stuff. You better regurgitate this stuff like we tell you to. I know there's this whole movement about string theory, and it just can't be proven. Oh, we just can't prove it. Oh, the Large Hadron Collider. Who built the how'd they build that shit? Come on, guys. There's no such thing as CERN. That's stupid. CERN isn't real. All that shit is fake. They're just lying to you. There's no ISS perpetually falling into the curvature of the earth at 17,500 miles per hour. Shut the fuck up. Do you realize the stupidity they tell you? Oh, hey, the space station's going to be flying. Make sure you go look. Well, how come I can't just see the space station all the time? You're going to let me know that the plane is flying up there and I can see it. It's 350 miles above the Earth's crust, but we can still see it. It's also stupid. It really is stupid. Let's see. Your light bulb that's based on the principles of physics. Without it, there wouldn't be light bulb. Fuck are you talking about? I know that if the sun was a big giant ball that we were flying around and all the stars were these big giant light producing balls, there wouldn't be darkness. The idea that the sun is X far away, 93 million miles away, and on the back side of the earth it's completely dark. That's not how light works.
So I've done quite a few cosmic astral travel meditations.
Huh.
Um,
Charles argues with me that
and I have never seen anything below like a plane. And maybe that's subconscious coming into, I don't know. But then again, if it's subconscious, I don't have a,
you want to
I don't have my
believe it.
mind made up.
Yeah, no,
You know what I'm saying?
you do. The problem,
no,
the thing,
I don't.
yes, you do. You're too smart to ignore all the points that I make or that the movement makes. However, because you really into this stuff, you want it to be true.
Well, no,
So
because
that's
it
where the
all
struggle
works
is. Your
in a
emotion
dome
is
it all works in a dome or a flat earth. Like,
it does, but it changes everything.
not really.
Yeah, it does. It
But-
absolutely does.
But like I said, anytime that I have been in that,
It works
state of
better in a dome
consciousness,
actually, but it also changes things.
It does. I've never seen anything down. It's
Well,
always,
I can't give any even a little bit of credence to what you see in an astral travel. I'm sorry.
well, it's a
From
cosmic.
from a scientific sort of making an argument point of view, it's not a valid argument. I mean, I'm not saying you're lying or anything. I'm just saying it's not a provable. I can't see what you saw.
It's not.
I'm an engineer. Oh my god. Oh my god. CERN is real. It's actually really cool science, right? You've been there. You've seen it. How come every time you see CERN, they show you what looks like the front of a battery, just a really big like Duracell battery, and if you look closely, there's like foil, pieces of foil are taped to it and shit. And then when you see the CERN, when they show you the CERN computers, it's always like early 80s, like asteroids video games. Dot 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 dot. These are electrons. So what they do is in the smaller hadron collider, in the smaller ring that's only a few miles, they separate the protons from the electrons. And once they get the protons separated from the electrons, they then feed them into the large hadron collider, where we then feed in another electrons or protons going the other way. And you guys are so stupid if you believe that. If you believe that in the 60s, CERN is said to be at its deepest point like 555 feet or some shit like that. Who the fuck built that? What did they use to build that? And how does it not, if we live in this place with tectonic plates and blah, 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 how does that work? And then all those countries, they're just like, yeah, you can go underneath our country and fucking do your thing. Like, it's all stupid. If you believe CERN is real, why? What proof do you have CERN is real? What proof do you have there's a 17-mile or whatever it is tunnel goes underneath all these blah, 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 blah. And they're actually building another one that's even bigger. You know what's funny about CERN? Just like the ISS, it's fucking broken all the time. Most of the time, it doesn't even actually work. It's also stupid. It's actually really cool science. Yeah, it's all make-believe bullshit. Do you realize in our world, some of the most well-respected people are considered theoretical physicists, experimental physicists. Boy, that sure would be nice, wouldn't it? Oh, yeah. I theorized this thing I call it string theory, and it's about there are strings that connect everything and blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's get to proving it. Don't worry. Fucking 40 years later, we still haven't proved it, but I don't even know how many years old it is. It's a lot of years old. People still talk about it. The Higgs boson. You believe there's a Higgs boson because this group, that's entire livelihood, and it's a good one. These guys are really well-paid scientists who literally sit around and do nothing all day but fuck around and have little parties and shit. These goddamn scientists, their entire livelihood, they probably have big mortgages, $500,000 house, kids at home, multiple cars, cell phones, thousands of dollars worth of bills each month, and they're oh well, I was a electron engineer at CERN. You have a degree in whatever bullshit it takes to get in there. Well, that degree doesn't translate into real world anything. So you go ahead and lose that job and you get blackballed from that field like science has been doing forever. What are you going to do? How are you going to pay your big mortgage? How are you going to pay your kids' tuition? How are you going to pay for your cell phones and your car insurance and your lease cars that have to have the full coverage insurance? How do you pay for all that shit? You don't. So you shut the fuck up and you just do what they say. You want me to clap like an idiot whenever I'm looking? Okay. Oh, yeah, look, yay, the rocket launched, yay. Oh, yay, we're NASA, but we're still using 70s camera technology, yay. It's CERN. Again, look at the proof you have of CERN. Go look up pictures of CERN online. Go look up the battery thing. It's all just goofy. It's goofy. Videos of the electrons hitting each other. And we have to use our high-speed cameras because when they collide, the explosion only lasts for 3 millimicroseconds. No, it's true. Let's see. No ISS for sure, but CERN is very real. Why do you believe certain parts and other parts you don't? You literally have the exact same evidence for both. Your phone was built by engineers who use principles of physics. Your car was built by engineers who use the principles of physics. See, you're a scientist. What the fuck? You can't even use basic English properly, man. You can't sound intelligent if you can't get your yours correct. I don't care what your Y-O-U apostrophe R-E saying. If you're not saying it correctly, that basic fucking third grade fucking English thing, if you can't do that properly, you lose all respect. You lose all credibility. Make sure you get that right. I don't understand. So, I don't understand is it, so it is fake. Good job, Austin. Good job. Oh, that's easy. Haha. Literally, foil has great purpose. It reflects certain forms of energy, reducing the interference, just like when radio. Yeah, that's it. So CERN can't. Not only do they not use the most expensive shit possible, they're just ripping pieces of aluminum foil and taping them to the thing. Gotcha, dude. That makes so much sense. We dug and built pipes in a 21 millimeter circle. Right, yeah, we dug with the magic digging machines in the 60s. Shit was started in the 60s, right? Supposedly. Again, you can say what you want. You can't prove it for anything. You personally, You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're just regurgitating nonsense that you like. This is what all of us do. Literally, there's almost no evidence for any of it, especially not in your own personal world. In your own personal experience, you have no evidence for a round Earth. You have no evidence for CERN. You have no evidence for IS. You have no evidence for God. Definitely no evidence of that bullshit. You literally have no evidence for any of the shit. You just pick and choose which stories you like the best, which things resonate with you, which things won't upset your family. Or you just regurgitate what your family said, but you just, it's all just sorry. It's all just the same shit, man. You just believe what you want to believe, and that's it. And unlike most of you, instead of picking and choosing which stories they give me that I like, I'm much more confident in saying it's all bullshit until I see it. Until I see it for what it really is, it's all bullshit. Because you know who's in charge? The lion-ass Jews. And they lie about every fucking thing. Like once you start looking into like the 1840s and the whole concept of the reset, Tartaria, the reset, look up the pneumatic tubes of London. Look up pneumatic tube travel, the precursor to the subway. Like the whole World's Fair things and all. When you start to understand that there's a reset and there's probably multiple resets that have happened, you have to understand that everything before that reset, whatever history it is, the ancient Greeks, the ancient Romans, the fucking the all the Jesus bullshit, all that stuff, it's all fake. It's all manufactured. It's all chat GPT nonsense. And really everything since then is too. You start looking into the Civil War and all that. It's just, when you start looking into the history has, one of the things they do is, like, especially with Wikipedia and shit, they give you lots of nothing details. The real details, the meat and potatoes of things, how this happens, how that happens, that doesn't change. Or they don't give you that. But what they give you is the you're going to hear about this guy's mother and his father and the blah, blah, and this, that, and the other. How he came up with the thing he came up with, we don't know that. But his mother really liked oatmeal, and he did, and they'll give you all these details so that when you walk away from it, you're like, yeah, there was a lot of details to back up whatever the narrative is. But it's not. It's just fluff. It's just filler bullshit. It's chat GPT bullshit. Our history is just bullshit. How many of you would be the 5th Battalion in an old school Civil War battle where everyone lines up and they run out into the field? And, either they end up fighting hand to hand or they get mowed down by whatever guys are hiding with encampments and shooting them. How many of you are going to be in that 5th Battalion where they're like, all right, 5th Battalion, the first 4 have been wiped out. You guys go out there and run, and you're just going to run out there with your gun. It's all stupid. And really, when you look at things, we're told that when the white man invaded the Americas, there were as many as 100 million natives here across the whole Americas. So that's 100 million natives, so that means they'd been here for a while. And all those people are having babies and multiplying and stuff. Even though they're getting killed eventually, they're still having more and more babies. The white people are spreading and multiplying like cancer, according to history, of course. I don't believe it, but according to history. And they're bringing black people in, apparently using Jewish-owned slave boats that took the hurricane routes, even though not a lot of accounts of hurricanes existing, but somehow these slave ships knew how to sail from Africa to the United States in the 1700s and shit. Just fucking silly. But they brought all these black people over that they then made, you know, reproduce and create more and more slaves. So you have all these black people, all these white people, and all these natives that all died. Billions and billions of people that have supposedly existed in the United States since white man invaded, they've died. And where the fuck are they? With today's technology, we have a hard time dealing with the dead. You know, it's kind of an overwhelming task. A lot of people are dying. If you knew about the conspiracies in the morgues, you'd be appalled. So all these billions of years, they weren't just burning, but you can't just burn a body. You don't just light a body on fire. To cremate a body, you need material. You need gas and shit. Like, it needs to be a super hot fire. Not a regular fire isn't just going to cremate a body. So they weren't cremating. And even if they were, you know, leaving them out, the animals to get them and shit, well, there would still be bones and teeth just everywhere. Billions and billions of people have been here, supposedly. Yet we find the occasional 1800s cemetery, or, you know, we can find the burial sites of, you know, an ancient tribe from blah, blah, blah. For some reason, it's 10 feet below the ground. Never. I always wondered that. Was like Earth a lot smaller or something? Or was there a mud flood? Mud flood sort of answers that question. But why do we always dig down and find stuff? And we find these civilizations that are, oh, this dates back to 326 BC. That's minus 326. And let's all look at the details. Yet, you know, these people died 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, 4, 3, 200 years ago, 100. Where the fuck are all these people at? The Gettysburg story is goofy. Especially, they say that 30,000 people died over the 3-day battle. Again, you got to picture. People are marching to the battle. I mean, the whole thing, where'd they get the uniforms from? Where'd they get the guns from? The Confederacy lasted from 1871 to 1875. It was a fucking 4-year failure. Yet they had all these uniforms and they had, come on. But they supposedly, the 30,000 bodies, they dug them a shallow grave where they left them for a year and then came back a year later, dug everyone up and moved them over to Arlington or whatever. That's the story of Gettysburg, of where what they did with those 30,000 dead bodies. It's fucking stupid. There, THERE, all important. Even while you are important. I wonder if this guy knows how his cell phone works. Not just the signal, but an SD card. Oh, where is this man's tinfoil hat? Oh, we're playing the hits now. Isn't it strange that one of the oldest sort of ribs on people that question things is that they wear a tinfoil hat. When you look at all those old pictures, you see people that are dressed like it's really cold. They have long sleeves. They have layers of clothing on. They all have hats on. They seem to be scared of the sun. But what if putting a piece of tinfoil in your hat, because now we know that they have things like ELF waves, extra low frequency waves that can be beamed into your head, and you know, you can be walking down the street and you walk through the signal and you hear this commercial in your head. You're like, what the fuck? What?
Probably the scientists testing like microwaves and realizing the damage it could do, so they found that if they like protected their head,
that's where I was getting to.
X-rays,
yeah.
But then that translated into, you know.
Yeah, no, they know. The one thing you're not supposed to be is a tinfoil hat wearer, because they don't want you to think, hey, maybe I should put a piece of tinfoil in my hat. Maybe that'll keep your brain from getting fucked with. Once you start knowing about HARP and all that other shit, like stupid people that want to deny things, like, do you know about HARP? HARP is absolutely real, and it's just one of many. It's so terrifying. There's a movie called Eyes to Space that Disney and the military made in 1959, where they talk about how, long ago at this point, way by 2024, we would have had many facilities located all over the coastline, and with aerosols from planes, we would be able to disrupt things like hurricanes. So in 59, the government is so confident that they're going to have this technology that they work with Disney to make a video to show the people, hey, we're going to have this. And yet here we are in 2024, and they either couldn't figure it out and they quit, they figured it out and put it on the shelves, or they use it and don't want us to know. Which one seems the most likely, especially when you know the Jews control it all? Your computer, the computer screen is the principal of electronics engineering to produce the images, and that CERN is something that you're just talking nonsense at this point. You're like desperately bringing up nonsense, and it's not working. They were using the correct your is a conjunction, you are is in you're an idiot. No, they weren't. This person doesn't use you got it though. You got it. They're not using the correct yours. So let's see. When it says that one. Well, I'm not gonna keep trying to prove that one, but it's there. Yep, I got it wrong. And look, right below it, YOUR making fun of this when your literal screen was built by the engineers. So they got that your correct too there, parfait, dumbass. I just love when it works out like that. I couldn't have had it be better than that. I couldn't have scripted that to be better. This desperate dumbass who I have to be wrong, right? They're not even here like, oh, I disagree with you on this or that, or they're not even explaining why they're here and why they're mad. But they're so mad they're trying to catch me up on something. No, they got the you're correct. And then right below it, the same person gets the you're wrong. I know that's petty of me, but I love that shit. That shit is that's just great. I've been to CERN, says John Grayson. Well, we have to believe that then. Fuck yeah. You've been to it. You got to ride around in the tunnels on a little cart too, right? Isn't it interesting how there's literally zero construction photos of CERN? Seems like a pretty important thing to be building. And you might want to even document the construction of, but nope. Then you start reading into the history of tunnels and shit and how they were supposedly building tunnels under fucking waterways in the 1800s, and it's just all so goofy. It's all so goofy. It's understanding that matters, not the words you say. That sounds like a lazy person's excuse. Because you're too lazy and stupid, I would assume. I mean, I don't know. But you're too lazy. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say it's just laziness. You're too lazy to use the correct words, which in reality, you don't even have to be lazy. It prompts you to use the right words. Your phone will try to correct those words. You're choosing not to use the correct words and acting like it doesn't matter. So why don't you just say ting, 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 ting? Who gives a shit, right? It doesn't matter what words you say. It's the understanding. See, I'm way too proud for that. I am way too proud to be that fucking lazy. I want people to expect the very best of me. And if I don't deliver the very best, then you point it out. But the idea that you're making excuse while you're trying to pretend like you're the smartest guy in the room, you're making excuses for elementary level bullshit. Funny. Don't bother arguing with this man. He's obviously never got the critical thinking skills growing up. He obviously never got the critical thinking skills growing up. That's what it is. So, yet again, this person comes in, doesn't actually say why, what, who they are, what they disagree. They're just sort of saying nonsense. But hey, it's my critical thinking skills here. Do you think the world is flat because you can't see the curve? No. There's lots and lots of reasons why I think the world is not a ball flying through space. Because that's dumb. There are plenty of things that prove that it's funny. The Earth being round and flying through space is this thing that's the extraordinary claim, right? And that's the one that requires the extraordinary proof. And yet, just basic pictures and shit like that don't seem to exist. Wonder why not? Ain't no way he's a flat earther. Ain't no way. Then say nothing until you at least test this shit. Yep, I should say nothing until I test it with the test kits. Damn, imagine pacing back and forth, spewing baseless conspiracy theories to a YouTube live. Bro, are you high or just very, very unemployed? Imagine trolling that live feed, not being able to focus on anything that person is saying, yet talking shit for some weird reason. He looks like the definition of unhireable. Well, how do you prefer your guys to look? At least you're a girl, right? You're parfait, dat cranberry girl. Oh, and you spell girl with a U because you're like super clever and cute. That cranberry girl. Oh, man. Yeah, I bet you're awesome. I had to go, but I wish you the best. It's hard to sit with you in this worldview. I don't even know what you're talking about. If I'm turning into what you're saying, I'm hearing a walking meatbag explain that we all know nothing. I don't even know what is a response to that. I'm pretty sure most of us don't know shit. Yes. We know what we're told to know. And then we sit here and argue about it while the people that control the information commit genocide and rape children. And while all of you guys are focused on people like Diddy, because, you know, they give a black guy a career so they can do that. You guys think the Jews have been doing what Diddy's accused of the entire time. You have guys like Weinstein getting his convictions overturned. But Diddy? No, Diddy's the bad guy. You got guys like Kanye and Cat Williams getting everybody to focus on black people. Nobody's talking about the Jews that control Hollywood and the entertainment industry and always have. Yeah, it's not them. It's these random black guys that were given careers for some reason. What do you think, Puffy? You think Sean Combs is just that much smarter and better than everyone else? No. He's just so much more dynamic. No, you ever seen this guy? You ever heard this guy? You heard his raps and shit? He sucks. Name 10 books you've read. Who gives a fuck what you say? Bro gets his info from TikTok. Yep, that's what it is. Yep. Which thing am I getting wrong? Again, so why is it always so difficult, right? For me being the stupid one Why are all these smart guys always so fucking childish that they can never point to something that's wrong? They just say, you're wrong. Nah, you're wrong and stupid. I don't like the way your hair is cut. You have a beard. You're all scraggly. I don't like. You smoke pot. If the weed is such a bad thing, then why can't you just best me? Point out what thing I'm getting wrong and tell me why. Seem like you're wasting a lot of energy trying to hurt my feelings. So stupid. Bruh. And if you type bruh, I just can't even with you. Is not smarter. Bruh is not smarter than a 5th grader. Okay. He's actually defending tinfoil hats. Yup. MIA has a clothing line. She sells actual tinfoil hats. Okay. Bro, listen to the trash that spews from this rat's mouth. Right? Well, she's not even talking. This is how she types. She can't even speak like basic proper. Bro, actually believe we can control the weather. Bro, actually believe it. Who are you talking to? Oh, here we go with the goofus from yesterday. And he says, pizza. That's fucking creepy, you fucking creepy weirdo. Boy, did you just cross that line, huh? Oh, the commercial must have played. Okay, I'll give you that one. Girl. Fucking stupid. You don't think we can control the weather. What do you think geoengineering is? What do you think cloud seeding is? Like, these are old technologies. You're just dumb. You're just like an ignorant stereotype. Girl. And it's that ignorant stereotype that's been put on black people that is so awful. As a person of color, man, it's so embarrassing. I am so embarrassed by what they have done to black people. The Jews that control the entertainment industry and have only fed black people the stupidest fucking people to emulate. God, it's awful. It's just awful. You really think the only the only blacks that can make it in the music industry are these fucking idiot, lean fucking idiot that, that's the only music that black people want to listen to. In the 70s and 60s and shit, black music was all about dancing, making love, even looking at the system differently, Marvin Gaye's What's Happening album, or what's going on, the whole album is amazing. He's actually talking about shit. And the Jews were able to keep blacks and whites separate up until the 80s musically. And then it sort of started to blend, and they desperately needed something. They were trying to. So around the same time, they created the redneck and they created the nigga, the thug. The redneck and the thug are the same fucking thing. They're just different colors. But they created it. Everybody likes to blame black people for rap music and shit. If it weren't for the Jimmy Iovine's and the Jerry Hellers and a bunch of other Jews behind the scenes, those dumb boy bands like NWA would have never existed. NWA is a boy band. It was a fucking conglomerate. They put it together. They put those guys together and said, all right, niggers, make nigger songs. We'll pay you really well. And they did what they were told. And they were given fame, and they were given... Look at Ice Cube. Ice Cube, there's a reason why Ice Cube has all these problems. If you look at old Ice Cube, or listen to old Ice Cube, listen to No Vaseline. He talks about, you take it from the Jews, and he mentions the Jews twice in that song. Ice Cube right now is having all sorts of beef because of his 3 on 3 thing and dealing with the Jews that control the NBA and all kinds of shit, man. Ice Cube's in the know. He's been talking about it forever. Just, quietly. Bill Gates wanted to whiten the clouds. Don't care. But like most of you, do most of you even know about the production codes from the 30s? So it's interesting when you look at the whole 100-year cycle, because Hollywood, like from the beginning, was always, the people that wanted to put on makeup and pretend to be different characters, they were gay guys. A lot of gay guys in Hollywood, gay people in Hollywood. And up until the 30s, it was pretty well known. But because because the Jews controlled the prohibition, the Purple Gang is who ran the alcohol out of Detroit. And the Purple Gang were the Jews. And they were the most ruthless group because they believed themselves to be superior and fuck everybody else, will kill everybody else. And so the Jews controlled this. But to hide the fact that the Jewish mafia controlled things, they used Hollywood. They used East Coast or West Coast Hollywood, because there's East Coast Hollywood, which is the news and the political stuff. And then there's West Coast Hollywood, which is the entertainment. The Jews used the West Coast Hollywood to create the whole Italian Godfather mafia character. Except they fucked up and they made this guy too lovable. They made him too Robin Hood-like. And so the character got too famous. And the people, the Goyim were rooting for the mobster to rob from the rich and give to the poor. So along with the gay thing, in the 30s, East Coast Hollywood issued what was called the production codes. And it said that gay people could no longer be used in Hollywood. So that's where the term beard comes from, because they ran around marrying all the gay men and women together. That was the beard. And they said that the cops could no longer look bad in the movies. And that the cops had to win at the end. No longer could the mobsters win. And there was a whole bunch of other shit in these production codes. But it's also right after that you get Shirley Temple's first film, which is called, come on people, called Baby Burlesque. Which, because these sick Jews think it's funny to have a 4-year-old pretending to be a burlesque dancer and another 4-year-old pretending to be one of those weirdo old school top hats. Mr. Monopoly type. And so we went from one thing, like almost overnight, these production codes are issued. And now suddenly you're getting all these Little Rascals and Baby Burlesque, and you're getting all these shows that are about children and orphans and all these weird fucking things that, like, who's going to watch that shit? But through the music, they were able to, they created the hippie character in the early 60s, because the World War II generation, the children of the World War II generation, wanted nothing to do with any more war. It was the intellectual side that didn't want the war. So the system creates this hippie, this dirty, long-haired, you're either this disheveled hippie who's against the war, or you're a put-together, well-mannered, good person in society who supports the government. And the Jews gave all these children of military men, like the parent, like Crosby, Stills, Nash, Crosby or Stills and Nash, their dads were military men who worked in mind control. Crosby is one of the long line of Crosbys. Jim Morrison's dad was the admiral on the ship used in the Gulf of Tonkin. All these big acts that were like these counterculture, or these hippies, these against the war, they were all given these rich fucking record contracts by the Jews because it's all fucking manufactured. They manufactured the redneck. When bluegrass started to become a thing, the classically trained Jews from up in New York would come down to the South so they could get some of that rich bluegrass money. And they weren't allowed to just be classically trained musicians. They had to put on the costume. They had to put on the overalls. They had to put the black stuff on their teeth and comb their hair all goofy. And my name's Gomer. Do, do, do. And they created that. Yeah, there were some mountain people that talked funny, but not like you think. The South wasn't like that. As a matter of fact, a lot of the South was that, excuse me, sir, may I trouble you for $1? Like, you know, where even if they're asking you something shitty, you think it's fucking great. That was a lot of the South. So we're that, dude, I'm a redneck and I'm proud of it. I'm from Detroit, but I still talk like this. That white, that white thug accent. It's the same thing. It's when black people say axe. Let me ask you something. Yo, my mother and my brother, they was hanging out. We went to the store. I saw them on the streets, dog. They got that hole in the they got their hair. Their hair is all done. All that shit. Black people didn't talk like that prior to 1980. There's a video on YouTube. It's a documentary made in Rikers Island in the early 80s. And if you're not watching it, you're just listening, you can't tell the black guys from the white guys unless you get one of those goofy, hey man, I'm slick character. I talk like this, man. Every once in a while you get one of those. But the black guys talk like the white guy. Everybody talked the same. That wasn't identifiable enough. They needed black people to be able to identify themselves. So when you get their job application and they weren't stupid enough to name themselves Shaniqua Jones, or their parents weren't stupid enough to name them something like that. They got a normal name. And then you talk to them and you're like, hi, is Michael Jones there? And he's like, yeah, hang on, dog. Let me get you. What's up, man? Hey, I'm sorry, man. Let me ask you something. The guy knows immediately. Oh, shit, got the wrong number. Sorry, click. And make us all identifiable. That's all it is. And they then, in the 80s, they saw the potential of, in the 60s, the children of those military people, they accidentally gave them too much power. And when those people traveled around the world and they saw that, and the ones that, especially the ones that weren't Jewish, and they saw that, holy shit, it's not really what we were told, and they started speaking out, that became a problem. So the Jews flooded the market with cocaine, created disco, created punk, gave us rock and roll, created country, and with country you had Hee Haw, one of the oldest running sketch comedy shows of all time, and it's basically a bunch of Jews pretending to be idiot rednecks, creating that narrative again. Oh look, it's Gomer. Hey Gomer. Hey y'all. It's fucking stupid. It's like how Norman Lear is considered this genius because he came up with shows like Good Times, where you have a rich Jew producer or a rich Jew guy creator who has nothing but rich Jew kids as the comedy writers on the show, writing about what it's like to grow up in the black projects. And then you get characters like JJ Dynamite. Oh, that's so funny. Every time he says it, that makes me laugh. It's all just a big fucking conspiracy. It is. And the idea that you say things are a conspiracy is crazy. That's a conspiracy. That's why they created the term conspiracy theorist. Do you know why they were called the Purple Gang? Nope. Don't care why they were called anything. So in the late 80s, they'd accidentally fucked up and made rock and roll cool. So you had all these guys, like rock and roll was all about, making music, getting laid, maybe trashing a hotel room, drinking beer, smoking pot, cocaine. And then the 90s came around, and in the 90s is when they made gangster rap. Suddenly rap went from black people know your roots and dance and have a good time and blah, 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 to niggas with attitude. Overnight, 88 is when that album was released. Just coincidentally.
And grunge.
And you have the on the black side you have niggas with attitude, and on the white side they changed rock and roll from rock and roll to grunge, and now they introduce heroin, and now the music is all about how depressed you are and how much you want to kill yourself and Nirvana and
to heroin, like what a swing.
huge, and they did that because they started flooding the market with all these guys that look like girls. The rock and roll thing.
The bad ones, theirs was weed.
Hmm?
All the blacks, the bad ones. Theirs was weed, at least.
Right. But the way they destroyed rock and heavy metal was by putting out all those fucking goofy guys in spandex and with their hair all teased and makeup on, and that just wasn't gonna work. The D. Snyders. Why D. Snyder is still so popular? Like, dude, Twisted Sister was not a big fucking band. We're not gonna take it. That's it. They weren't this band known for all the fucking good music they put out.
That wasn't even the song I liked.
And then you got Judas Priest.
Oh God.
Who is a bunch of gay guys who basically created the whole, heavy metal look, and they thought it was funny because it was the gay guy look, the gay bar look. The leather chaps and the, leather fucking vest and the biker hat and all that shit. That was the gay guys.
But I remember before I realized they were the gay guys, the impression was they were the bad biker guys. They were the bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And then I realized, oh no, they're not the bad biker guys. They're the gay guys. Holy shit.
It was just, it's all manufactured. It's all manufactured by the Jews to keep us fucking stupid and keep them in charge and keep us being the worst we can be.
Mm-hmm.
The very worst version of us possible. Because they almost fucked up, almost gave us too much, and we almost, went the wrong way and realized how great we were. But they shut it all down. When black people started going the Africa route in the late 80s, and you started seeing all these guys coming out against drinking and all this shit, like, they were like, oh shit, we accidentally created the Black Panthers again. Activate niggas with attitude protocol. Like, it's all stupid. It's all stupid by design bullshit to keep us where we are. And it's all to keep us from focusing on Israel and focusing on the Jews. How many of you guys realize what circumcision is? Circumcision is literally one of the worst things, if not the worst thing we do. There's a reason why the American prison system is so full, so much more full than anyone else. why we're such a violent nation, why the men are such violent pigs who violate women all the time. And you know, why do you think men have such weird associations with their dicks? Could it be because within hours of being born, they were forced to feel the most incredible pain and suffering that most of us can think, cutting off the necessary glands that are in the tips of our dicks? You know, and the way they do it, the cold hospital, the baby has no, it's hours old, and they're putting it through an incredible trauma. Do you think maybe that's why dudes have such fucking dick issues and sex issues and all that shit? Maybe why we're so violent? You know why we do it? To mark ourselves as Jew property. Circumcision in the Bible is Abraham, the Jew, making the covenant with God that God won't destroy the world again with another flood as long as everyone continues to cut baby dicks. As long as circumcision, not we treat each other well, not we take care of the planet, not you know, anything good. The most important thing in the Bible is that we keep cutting baby dicks. The most important tenet, the number one tenet in Judaism is circumcision, is the Brit Milah. And that's where the moil, the priest in Judaism, or a version of a priest, a lot of them, their only job is to perform circumcisions. And what they do is they perform the circumcision and then they put their mouth on it and they suck on it. Because they believe that the moil spit, you know, helps the wound heal and passes the blessing on. And this is happening all over the United States, probably daily. And you guys think that's okay. But at least, again, with them, they do it. It's a party. The family's there. The kid's 8 days old. So he's experienced other things in this life other than, hey, I'm just born. What's going on? What the fuck are you doing? They know that they can't just do that right at birth. It's disgusting. It's one of two things I regret. And the second one is giving my kids the vaccinations we did give them. Don't you kind of have to tip your hat to the Jews for the efficiency and creativity? No, it's not efficiency and creativity. We are the creative ones. We are the efficient ones. The Jews are the psychopaths. The Jews are the ruthless ones, the ones that are willing to kill, to make people disappear, to steal people's ideas and not pay for them. The Einsteins of the world who worked at the Patton House. You know, the Jews are the worst. That's why they're in charge. It has nothing to do with their greatness. It's their ability to turn us against each other and not give a shit. Their ability to look at other human beings as nothing. That's why they have it. You love talking about penile. Yeah, I love talking about something that I think is the worst fucking thing, and we need to stop doing it immediately. Little boys need to immediately, this practice needs to stop. Understand, when people say the Jews were kicked out of 100 countries in the last 1,000 years, one of the main reasons is their obsession with cutting baby dicks. That's why the Maccabees thing happened. That's why Hanukkah exists. Hanukkah is the celebration of the Maccabee Wars, where they somehow, the Jews who weren't allowed to circumcise fought back and won their right to circumcise. It's fucking stupid. Oh wait, I'm stupid. I don't know what I'm talking about. You guys know this stuff, right? I don't read books and stuff. I don't know anything. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Anybody arguing with me better know these things. If you're going to argue, you better know what you're fucking talking about. Because I do. We do this to our children to mark ourselves as Jewish property and to put our males through trauma. It's by design. What's the difference between European scientists and American scientists? The doctors and the medical community here in the States, they say, oh, well, this is good for preventing disease and the transmission of disease and for hygiene purposes. So what are the doctors and scientists and shit like that in Europe not seeing? That say, no, that those arguments don't actually add up. You sure are obsessed with talking about the pedophilia. You sure are obsessed with talking about the child abuse. Yeah, that shit needs to stop first and foremost. What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh. You know, I wish there was more, like, I wish it wasn't this easy. You understand how easy this is for me to make this? I shouldn't be able to make the system look bad. I'm just some doofus in Detroit talking shit on YouTube. How can some doofus in Detroit talking shit on YouTube who doesn't constantly go, who doesn't pause, who almost sounds like he's scripted, how does somebody like me continuously poke holes in all of this shit if I'm wrong? How come you guys aren't just blowing up everything I'm saying and making me look stupid? There's fucking 15 of you right now. There's been as many as 20 something on here. So where is the proper opposition? Why is the only opposition the nonsense? I should be getting roasted. You guys should be unequivocally proving everything I'm saying, just wrong. You're stupid. What about this? What about that? And yet none of that seems to happen. You should too, and film it like you should. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. Trader Todd. Well, if it's any other Todd than Todd Church, what's up? If it's Todd Church, wow, you're fucking weird. Still here. Still on my nuts. Strange. I would agree with a lot, you doofus. I didn't ask you what you agreed with, now did I, doofus? I asked you, what do you disagree with? Why is that so hard to fucking come by? I want to know what people disagree with me on. I don't care. I mean, I appreciate those that agree, but that's not interesting.
I'm having an interesting discussion. I've got a lady that is calling me. The post was, what's the worst organization in the world? And I put two responses. The first one was the state of Israel, and the other one was organized religion of any sort. And in response to not the organized religion comment, but the state of Israel comment, I have a Bible thumper arguing with me because in the Bible it states that the Jews are the holy people and they should be protected at all costs.
Did you ask why you believe a completely different religion is your God's favorite people?
Because her God has told her so.
Yeah, but why would that be?
I put two answers. The one was organized religion, the other one was state of Israel. She's responding to the state of Israel comment, not organized religion comment, and protecting the Jews, and she's a Christian.
Right.
And it's just blowing my mind.
Shouldn't.
And and she keeps arguing with me back and forth, calling me a Satan lover. I'm like, no, you have to believe in God to believe in Satan.
Right. I
And
don't
that's
believe in the good guy or the bad guy. You doofus. And God isn't really the good guy. I mean, it's not Satan that's creating all the life that is the cancer that's killing people.
No, she said she said,
I don't care what she said.
I said, keep reading the King James or other horrible tyrant written control scheme book and watching the propaganda filled news with your blinders on and be the good brainwashed sheep the elite want. She said, you have to believe, so then I said, you have to believe in God and man made religion to believe in Satan. Who's the programmed one? Oh, she deleted all her shit. She just deleted all her shit.
She blocked you. She didn't delete it.
Yeah. But I see her other messages.
Oh, well, maybe not. I don't know. They're just stupid. THERE, just stupid. You know what I'm saying? THERE, just stupid. I wish it wasn't like this, man. I wish I was wrong. I wish it wasn't so easy to pull all this apart. You know? Go read anything you're supposed to read and tell me how it makes sense. The Bible is. How do any adult, like intellectual adults, read the Bible and be like, yup, that's the truth. That is the 100% truth. I can't imagine why anybody would think this isn't the truth. Every time somebody starts talking about Revelations, oh, it's Revelations. Like, you realize Revelations is something that was already supposed to have happened. It's already happened. According to the book, the way the book is written, it's telling a story of what happened already. Like the narrator of the Bible is telling the story. Of course it is. It's such a stupid story, man. Everything is just, the whole Bible is just, it's embarrassingly stupid. Please, any Christians that are watching, or even if you're like, no, but I still believe in God, bro. Like any of it. How? If you're not going to believe in the Bible and the nonsense, then how do you believe in the God thing? It's all just so frustrating. And it's all just Jew nonsense. It's all how they keep us fucking distracted. You want to talk about some shit that happened 2,000 years ago, and that, you know, you're the God is always watching you, so don't jerk off or anything, and you gotta follow the rules or you go to hell. And it's embarrassingly stupid.
Oh, there it is. I believe in God. I do not believe in man-made religion. God spoke
There
to
you go.
those that wrote the Bible. Satan was a fallen angel who wanted to be like God. He and his followers, other angels, were cast out of heaven and are in hell.
God.
I'm not the programmed one. If you don't believe in God, why would you believe in Satan? I said, that's the point. I don't. Keep up, dear.
I mean, they're just, like, that chick is like, and then the Tweedledops came from the planet Ding Dong, and they were firing their Google Hummel lasers. Right. She's just like, it's just fucking fantasy nonsense.
And who's the programmed one? I don't know. Did you just read what you wrote?
Right. I'm the one that says that programming isn't real. It's just embarrassing.
Hello?
It's embarrassing.
Stressed.
I'm losing my shit. I'm losing my shit. I'm losing my, like, it's a strange feeling to think it's all bullshit. To not be able to, like, to think the history is all bullshit. Everything they've ever, all of it, it's bullshit. They know it's bullshit. They they created it. It's the bag of sand bullshit. Everywhere you go, if you just look and you pay attention, there's these little giveaways. These bag. What's the titty feel like? A bag of sand. What? You're a virgin. Like, it's all these little bag of sands are everywhere if you just pay attention. But it's up to you. It's up to you. Anyway, I'm gonna bounce. You guys have a great day. Go get your free download, www.the-bilderberg, BILDERBERG-group.com. The link is in the description. Go get your free download. It's good shit. And have a great day. And pedophiles, kill yourself.